The following presentation, Bell Ringers and Exit Slips, Creating Powerful Beginnings and Endings, was prepared by Marie Pellegrini on August 19, 2020 for Advancement Courses Facilitator Joanna Carrot. What is a bell ringer? A bell ringer is an activity, small assignment, or mini assessment that students complete when they first enter the classroom. Bell ringers typically consist of questions or prompts related to the concept or concepts currently discussed in class. Many teachers make them short so they don't take up too much time, but they can also be incorporated in the lesson plan to guide the concept or concepts for class. What is an exit slip? The exit slip strategy is used to help students process new concepts, reflect on information learned, and express their thoughts about new information. This strategy requires students to respond to a prompt given by the teacher and is an easy way to incorporate writing into many different content areas. Furthermore, the exit slip strategy is an informal assessment that will allow educators to adapt and differentiate their planning and instruction, according to Read, Write, Think. The role of bell ringers and exit slips helping students transition. Students benefit from bell ringers because it allows them to get into the mindset of the concepts that will be discussed in class. Bell ringers also allow students to get into the habit of transitioning from class to class and preparing for various tasks. Bell ringers and exit slips support student focus and engagement. Students benefit from bell ringers because they become more engaged as they typically lead to discussion to begin the lesson, according to LearnSafe.com. Bell ringers and exit slips promote critical thinking. Think, Pair, Share is an activity utilizing student engagement and is an excellent way for learners to reflect on the day's lesson. A Think, Pair, Share at the end of a lesson can focus on items learned during the lesson or a quick problem based on the principles learned during the period. Daily reflection is a great strategy to promote critical thinking so students quickly reflect on their learning for the day, and it is a quick way for students to summarize their thoughts on a lesson. Playing Jeopardy is an excellent exercise in class because students synthesize and use questioning skills, and it shows if students have gaps in understanding based on the questions they create. Synthesizing, summarizing, and reflecting are all higher level thinking skills on Bloom's taxonomy. Bell ringers and exit slips serve as a classroom management tool, a strategy to engage learners and help them focus, and a tool for students to reflect on their learning. Some specific examples of bell ringers are speed drills, word problems, task cards, responding to a quote, writing prompts, using mentor sentences, using grammar practice maps, and responding to science quotes. Specific examples of exit slips: demonstrating a growth mindset in a writing prompt, practice reading skills such as making judgments, determining importance or the main idea. Another specific example of an exit slip: boost creativity using drawing to reflect, assess knowledge or understanding of vocabulary used for a quick activity, and writing opinions. Students can apply a concept to their life. They can practice with similes or idioms. Another specific example of an exit slip: determine interests of the students to help plan lessons. Help students be in control in their learning by asking them what they want to learn or review next. Reflect on their work and rate their confidence so that they are self-aware. Specific example of bell ringers used in my 4th grade class. The first 2 questions in the interactive notebook focus on the article's main idea and its supporting details. Students may write answers directly on the page. When an A, B, C, or D choice is required, it is suggested that they circle the answer. The top portion of the 2-layer response pages asks students to answer 2 I think questions. Responses should be at least 2 sentences. The second layer gives students a choice of writing about the topic: a poem, a song, a statement, etc. Creating artwork inspired by the topic or asking questions that address other things that they want to know about the topic. Allow students to do more than one activity if they wish. Teachers may choose to use the 2 response pages provided, or they leave the page blank for other assigned activities or student choice. Student choice is extremely important. The compound connections bell ringer can be completed independently or in a small group, and this will not be graded. It can be checked together or file with answers. A file with answers can be provided as a review. Students can work on these parts of speech task cards independently or in a small group. They can discuss with partners and check with each other. They can record their answers in a notebook or a Post-it note. Here are several specific examples of exit slips, which students can use to reflect upon any lesson and which will provide helpful insight into what I need to plan and teach for the following lessons or to adjust and modify my lessons. And you'll notice that these are quick. Some of them are just check mark. Some are very informal, and it's suggested that you have a variety of these exit slips and bell ringers on hand so the students don't get bored, and it mixes up the lesson and makes it more exciting for them. Using this particular exit slip, students have the option of drawing or writing their answers for the exit slip. This exit slip would probably appeal to a wide variety of learners and can be used for almost any subject, which is helpful to keep a bunch handy, as suggested in this course, to make work easier for collecting the data. Intentional design is important. The process of designing engaging activities that align with program goals and target identified students' needs to help students build the skills and knowledge that they need to succeed. Designing effective program activities requires a clear understanding of what you hope to accomplish. That means asking the 4 following questions. Does this particular activity align with program goals? Does it target student needs? Does the activity build skills and knowledge that they will need to be successful? And will this activity engage students? Meeting the needs of diverse learners, differentiation in bell ringers and exit slips, it's important to have a variety of activities for your lesson. Use different prompts and activities to keep students engaged. This variety also helps to differentiate the instruction to support the needs of the students and their learning styles. Differentiation may include content differentiation, differentiating by process, by using different products, and variations in the learning environment. Content, what the student needs to learn or how they will access information. Several ways to differentiate by content are having the bell ringer or exit activity written on the board when students enter, or have it on a sheet of paper on their desk when they arrive, having the bell ringer or exit slip read aloud to them or in a Google form using their technology. The activity can also be differentiated by having different versions of a reading to respond to or problem to accommodate the level of the learner. To differentiate according to process are the activities in which the student participates to master the content. Several ways to differentiate by process can be to include hands-on manipulatives to support students, provide more time to complete the task, or read or scribe for the students. Culminating products that ask the student to apply what they have learned in a lesson or unit is how to differentiate by product. The one way to differentiate the product is to offer students options or choices for how they want to respond or complete the bell ringer or exit slips. Some choices might be to draw their response, write their response, or give a verbal explanation. The learning environment is the way the classroom looks and feels. Several ways to differentiate the learning environment are to allow students to choose their own space to complete the bell ringer or exit slip. They can use a stand-up desk, a reading chair, a stool, a table, or a floor mat. Bell ringers and exit slips as formative assessment. Formative assessments are activities that teachers use to conduct in-process assessment of comprehension, needs, and progress. Bell ringers and exit slips are available for formative assessments for the classroom. According to Great Schools Partnership in 2014, the goal of formative assessments is to collect information on the students that can help you improve instruction. Formative assessments also help you design bell ringers and exit slips, which can support the teacher by information, the modification of instruction while it is happening. Bell ringers and exit slips as formative assessment. They can serve as formative assessments to help you inform your teaching as it begins your day or your lesson. Exit slips can be valuable in helping to formatively assess by including both content and reflection questions that ask students how comfortable they were with the concepts. Sorting the exit slips into piles that reflect the type of mistakes students made in answering the content questions or by how confident they feel moving on can inform in planning to reteach or pull small groups for lessons the next day. Cleaver, 2015. This concludes the bell ringer and exit slip presentation. There are references and feedback provided to the following posters in the community space. I responded and critiqued Christine Meyer's presentation and Tara Figueroa's presentation. Thank you.